It's Santasha. So today I am going to make my shea butter mix. I actually like to call it my Rob's aloe mix because I make it for my husband. To make this aloe mix, you need 3 key ingredients. You need 3 ingredients if you don't do nothing else. If for a shea body butter, this is what I like to use. You can shea butter, you can buy it in a large quantity, or you can buy it out of the store in these little kind of containers. The little ones are 100% shea butter, and actually that's what I'm using right here, leftover from this container, because I've learned to now try to purchase it in bulk. Coconut oil, aloe vera gel. It's just plain old Lily Desert aloe vera gel, or whichever one you want to use. And that's the minimum that you're going to need. So, and then after that, you're going to need your, if you want to make it as detailed as I make mine, you're going to need sweet almond oil. You're going to need jojoba oil, vitamin E oil, and your choice of essential oil or oil fragrance. And when I say oil fragrance, you can get it from the soap companies, or you can get these little fragrance bottles. I know you've seen the people selling these little oils. You can use these also. This is what I use for mine. And one more option is the tapioca starch. And what this tapioca starch is going to do, it's going to take away some of that. You know how sometimes you put on lotion, dealing with shea butter type lotion, you put it on and it's super shiny, kind of greasy looking. The tapioca starch takes away some of that greasy type shine. So what I'm doing now is just breaking up the shea butter so that when I put it in the blender, it the blender won't have such a hard time trying to scramble it around. Measurements that I use a half a cup of shea butter. I use 1/4 cup of the aloe vera gel. I use 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. And those are the ingredients for the bare minimum. If you want to stop right there and have a beautiful, nice shea aloe mix, that's the minimum that you need. So right now I'm just chopping up this shea butter, and then I'm gonna pour it over in the blender. And you don't have to use a stand-up mixer or a blender. You can actually use your emulsion blender, or whichever one you have. This one's just easier for hands free. And I know a lot of people have the KitchenAid stand mixers. I just have a cheapo stand mixer from Walmart that I had bought a few years ago actually. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is, because what I like to do is, once I bring something into my natural room, I don't like for it to go back into the kitchen. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I think I'm gonna probably buy me a KitchenAid for the actual kitchen, and I'll use my El Cheapo for the my natural room. About 1 minute well, first you want to start on low and then get it up to high. Alright, y'all see I switched to my other blender ends. I couldn't figure out what was different, but that was it. I usually use the regular pieces. So once your shea butter gets to looking like that, you see how it's whippy, like you see everybody else on Facebook and all when they posting their stuff, then that's when you want to add your oils and your aloe vera gel. You want to mix it up, just stir it up first. because you know if you start that blender right now, you're gonna have stuff splatting and spraying all over the place. Time too, you can go ahead and add whatever, if you want additional oils such as the jojoba oil, which I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of jojoba oil. And I'm also going to use 2 sweet teaspoons of the sweet almond oil. Add some vitamin E. I usually don't measure my vitamin E, but for video purposes, I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon of the vitamin E oil in there. And then everything else is your essential oils or your fragrance oils. So you know you can use whatever you want on this part. So just go ahead and add your whatever oils you're going to use for fragrance. Alright, so you want to just go ahead on and add your essential oils. Just add a few drops of whatever your favorite essential oil is. Or sometimes you might just want to add a few drops of whichever essential oil is going to be best fit your skin. But just add a few drops in there, and that's tangerine that I just added, and there's some lemon. Add some lemon also. I added a few other ones, but too many to, you know, just put on the video, because you don't have to do this many. I just like to do it because it's for my honey. Alright, so and here is your final product. That's your final product. It's really light and fluffy, and it'll stay pretty much like this. So we use these little plastic containers, and he still has a little bit in there from what I did not use. And this will last a very long time. I think the last time I made shea butter was back in April or May. When you're making this shea butter, if you find that it's too oily for you, you can use the tapioca starch. The tapioca starch and is a modified form of plain old corn starch. So I'm not really sure if you can use plain corn starch, but sometimes you know you gotta work with what you got. So it's just a form of corn starch, the tapioca starch. And what I was saying is there's also a product called Dry Flow that does the exact same thing, and it's a modified version of the tapioca starch. And you can get that from brambleberry.com. And now my honey has his shea butter back, and it smells really good and light and fluffy. Then I put his little top back on, and back in the bathroom it goes. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.